Hello students. In the previous video lecture, I talked about Elizabethan drama and university wits. I talked about Lilly, Green, Nash, Peel, Marlowe, etc. Today I will talk about morality plays, miracle plays, mystery plays. A play, as most of you know, is where live actors get on a stage and act out a story in front of an audience. During medieval times, most plays were religious and were used to teach people about the Bible, about the lives of the saints, about how they lived, and they also taught how to live your life the right way. There were three different types of plays performed during medieval times: the mystery play, the miracle play, and the morality play. I will talk about all these three kinds of play which were performed before and during the Elizabethan period, at the infancy of drama in English literature. Mystery plays were stories taken from the Bible. Remember this thing. Each play had 4 or 5 scenes or acts. The priests and the monks were the actors. Each scene or each act was performed at a different place in town, and the people moved from one stage to the next to watch the plays. As you see, modern day Ram Leelas, some scenes are played at different places in a town or in a city. In the same manner, these plays were performed. The play usually ended outside the church, so that the people would go to the church and hear a sermon after watching the play. So this was an interesting activity during those days. Now, I will talk about miracle plays. The miracle play was about the life or actions of the saint or of a saint, and even of martyrs who laid down their lives for the religion. It was about the actions that made that person a saint. One popular miracle play was about Saint George and the dragon. Miracle plays are based on biblical stories or the lives of religious persons. So there is, you see, a religious touch in the mystery plays, in the miracle plays, and even in the morality plays. Miracle plays are known as saints' plays also. They specially reenacted miraculous interventions by the saints, particularly Saint Nicholas or Saint Mary. So their intervention into the lives of ordinary people rather than biblical events. So mystery plays were based on biblical events and miracle plays were based on the lives of the saints. I would like to tell you more about the miracle plays. What were the characteristics of the miracle plays? The main characteristics of these plays were, as I will tell you shortly, that the story revolved around the main characters, or around the main character rather than the other characters. And the other characters, were shortly, they were not of great value. Only the main character was of value, was important in the miracle plays. And there were comic scenes also. Comic scenes were also a part of miracle plays. Devil's character was also presented in miracle plays. Devil usually tried to attract the central figures to the life of sin. Lives of saints or the scenes from Bible were the subject matters of miracle plays. But lives of saints and martyrs were more important. The structure of the miracle plays was generally loose. They were not properly unified. They were not well knit. Now you will ask, what is the difference between the mystery plays and miracle plays? And I would say there is not one difference. There are not two differences. There are many differences between the mystery plays and miracle plays. The basic difference between the miracle plays and mystery plays is that miracle plays deal with the life history of saints. And on the other hand, mystery plays are scenes from the Bible. This is the basic difference. This is the broad difference. This is the first difference. This is the major difference between the mystery plays and miracle plays. Miracle plays are based on the lives of the saints, whereas the mystery plays are based on the stories or the scenes from the Bible. Miracle plays are the old form and mystery plays came later. Now, I will talk about morality plays. Morality plays were designed to teach people a lesson in how to live their life according to the rules of the church, to the rules laid down in the scriptures, to the rules laid down in the Old Testament and New Testament. Sometimes these plays had elaborate sets, sometimes no sets at all. It didn't seem to matter. It was of little importance. The people attended these plays. They didn't have to they were not forced to attend, but they attended. But it was a break from their normal daily lives. They attended these plays, morality plays, for entertainment, for a break from their day-to-day routine. Morality plays are a type of allegory in which the protagonist is met by personifications of various moral attributes who try to prompt him to choose a godly life over one of evil. So, even 7 deadly sins are personified, and moral values are also personified in the morality plays, and they pull the central character into different directions. The sins pull to the sinful life, and the moral values pull him to positive ethical life. In morality plays, the hero represents mankind or every man. It shows the difference between God and evil. What shows the difference? Morality play. A morality play shows the difference between a good life and bad life, between God and evil. Now, how did morality plays came into existence? How did they become popular in England? Morality plays developed at the end of the 14th century and gained more popularity in the 15th century. The morality play developed during the medieval period, and they went on evolving. They evolved further and further. The morality plays attempted to educate the people via entertainment. Christian monks developed the morality plays in the 13th century by adding actors and theatrical elements. You see, the morality plays were popular during the Dark Ages, and even in the 13th century, I dare say even in the 12th century, they came into existence. And priests, encouraged people to perform these plays. By doing so, the masses could more easily learn the basics of Christianity through dramatic spoken words. And such types of plays were popular in different countries. Like in India, we see Ram Leelas, Ras Leelas. So these are religious plays which are performed by the people. So by personifying vices, by personifying virtues, by personifying the devil, by personifying the good angel and bad angel, stories of temptation were made accessible to those who were unable to read them themselves, who were illiterate. So the stories of Bible, the stories of scriptures were brought home to the illiterate masses. And what were the themes of the morality plays? Let's talk about this thing in detail. The main theme of the morality play is that man begins in innocence, man falls into temptation, and man repents, and man is saved or man is killed. The central action is the struggle of man against the 7 deadly sins. The 7 deadly sins try to pull a virtuous person to the life of sin. The 7 deadly sins try to tempt an innocent person to the life of evil. So the 7 deadly sins are personified into real characters. Otherwise, how could they come on the stage? They cannot come on the stage if they are not personified. Morality plays help the audience understand the greater concepts of sin and virtue. Now the question arises, what are the chief characteristics of the morality plays? And I am trying to repeat the same things in different manners in order to make it clear to you what the morality plays are. Some of the elements of morality plays are that in these plays characters were personified abstractions of vices and of virtues, such as good angel, evil and bad angel, goodness and evil, faith, anger. These are abstractions which were personified in the morality plays, so that the common masses could understand the allegory. The theme was divided in terms of general and main theme. And what was the general theme? This theme was theological. And what was the main theme? The main theme was the struggle between the good and the bad powers. Why? For capturing man's soul. As we see in Dr. Faustus. Dr. Faustus is also a morality play, which I will discuss in the later videos. 7 sins were also the part of these plays, and we see 7 deadly sins also in Dr. Faustus. And comic scenes were also introduced in morality plays, and we have comic scenes in Dr. Faustus. And concept of damnation and salvation was also present in the morality plays. Now briefly I am going to discuss Dr. Faustus as a morality play. There were various elements that we can easily trace to prove that Dr. Faustus was a morality play. What is the general theme of Dr. Faustus? Let's talk about this thing. Or I think it will confuse you further. I don't think I should discuss Dr. Faustus in this video. As I told you earlier, I will talk about this topic later on in the coming videos. Let's talk about the morality plays. Let's confine ourselves to the morality plays in this video. So morality was a theological, these plays were theological, and in drama of Dr. Faustus, this theme was presented. Dr. Faustus was a religious scholar who was famous religious figure. Briefly, I will tell about Dr. Faustus as a morality play, and then we will discuss other things. So he surrenders his soul to desire for having worldly pleasures for a few years. And what were the worldly pleasures for him? He wanted to become a great scholar. He wanted to become a great magician. As I told you, there are comic elements in morality plays. So are there comic elements in Dr. Faustus also? In Dr. Faustus, there is a hard struggle in his soul. between good deeds and between evil desires. The good and evil angels also appear in the play with their own symbolic significance, personifying the two aspects of Dr. Faustus's character. So both the angels personify the different pulls in the character of Dr. Faustus. And the bad angel succeeds in the mission of pulling Dr. Faustus to a life of vices. So is it an allegory, Dr. Faustus, the play? Or are there any personified abstractions in the play? Yes. The play Dr. Faustus is known as a morality play. The characters are allegorical and they are personified abstractions of vices and virtues, as I told you earlier in this same lecture. In Dr. Faustus, we find the good and evil angels. The former stands for the path of virtues, and the latter stands for the path of sin and damnation. And are there 7 deadly sins in the play? In the play Dr. Faustus? Yes, there are 7 deadly sins in the play, as we see in other morality plays. We find 7 deadly sins in the 6th and even in the second scene of the Act 2. This spectacle also shows that Marlowe in his Dr. Faustus adopted some of the conventions of the old morality plays and even old miracle plays. So this is very interesting to learn that Dr. Faustus follows the tradition of morality plays. It is a type of morality plays, but it is well unified. It is forceful. It is a well-knit play which the earlier morality plays were not. They were loose in structure. Dr. Faustus is well-knit. So we have talked about the significance of miracle plays, the significance of mystery plays, and the significance of morality plays. They belong to the 14th century and 15th century. Dr. Faustus can never be treated wholly as a miracle play or as a mystery play or as a morality play. It has higher values also for the secular people, for the human interest also. It is also a greatest heroic tragedy before Shakespeare, with its enormous stress on characterization. There is a perfect characterization in this play. Dr. Faustus's character is stable. And there are inner conflicts in the soul of the towering personality. And the inner conflicts, depiction of inner conflicts, is a modern trait. Shakespeare, also depicted mental conflicts, as we see in Hamlet, which we will discuss later, and we see these things in you say Dr. Faustus also. So this goes on. So this makes Dr. Faustus a great literary creation.